Dave B Racing from New Zealand is 7th on mediums. That Canadian guy from Canada is 4th on mediums. Jason Short from New Zealand is P6 on softs. The race dictator from New Zealand is P3 on mediums. Johnny Prince from New Zealand is 8th on mediums. That Canadian guy is 3rd. Best lap is a 5:45.259. Chris Butt is 2nd. Best lap is a 2:36.617. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand is 1st on mediums. Best lap is a 2:28.542. Bray from New Zealand is P6 on mediums. Toddy Mustang is 1st. Johnny Prince is 6th. Best lap is a 7:24.325. The qualification session is at Swiss. In Calgary, Canada. That Canadian guy from Canada is P1 on mediums. The race dictator from New Zealand is 2nd on mediums. Dave B Racing from New Zealand is 7th on mediums. Bray from New Zealand is P4 on mediums. That Canadian guy is 5th. Dave B Racing is P7. Johnny Prince from New Zealand is P3 on mediums. 10 minutes remaining in the session. That Canadian guy is 5th. The race dictator is 2nd. Jason Short from New Zealand is 2nd on mediums. Jason Short improved his first with a 2:28.509. Johnny Prince is P3 up 12.05. Johnny Prince improved his P3 with a 2:31.119. 2.610 off pole. Bray is 6th up 16.85. Bray improved his 6th with a 2:46.486. 17.977 off pole. The race dictator is P4 up 1.74. 5 minutes remaining in the session. The race dictator is provisional pole with a 2:28.228. Johnny Prince is P5 up 1.37. Toddy Mustang is provisional pole with a 2:28.048. Johnny Prince improved is P5 with a 2:29.566. 1.518 off pole. Bray is 7th up 14.59. Bray improved is P6 with a 2:31.907. 3.859 off pole. The race dictator is P2 up 0.29. That Canadian guy is P4 up 0.45. The race dictator is 2nd up 0.14. Johnny Prince is 5th up 0.47. qualifying session is now in overtime. That Canadian guy from Canada is fourth up 0.41. Jason Short is P3 up 0.37. Jason Short improved his second with a 2:28.091. 0.043 off pole. Dave B. Racing from New Zealand is 7th up 0.34. The race dictator is P3. Best lap is a 2:28.228. 0.180 off pole. Broadcast bot is 20th on mediums. The race session is at Swiss. In Calgary, Canada. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand is P1 on mediums. Jason Short from New Zealand is second on mediums. 20 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. Jason Short is now P1. That Canadian guy from Canada is P2 on mediums. Bray from New Zealand is P4 on mediums. That Canadian guy is P2. The race dictator from New Zealand is P3 on mediums. Chris Budd from New Zealand is 6th on mediums. Chris Butt is now P4. The race dictator is second. Dave B Racing from New Zealand is fifth on mediums. Dave B Racing is now P4. The race dictator is P2, 0.6 behind Jason Short. Toddy Mustang is P7, 0.6 behind Johnny Prince. The race dictator is P3, 0.6 ahead of Dave B Racing. Dave B Racing is P3, 0.3 ahead of Jason Short. Jason Short exiting pits on mediums. The race dictator is P2, 0.2 behind Chris Butt. Dave B Racing is third. Best lap is a 2:46.716. 2.937 off the fastest lap. Chris Butt is P2, 0.1 behind the race dictator. That Canadian guy exiting pits on mediums. Dave B Racing is third, 0.5 behind Chris Butt. Chris Butt is P2, 0.5 ahead of Dave B Racing. Dave B Racing on lap 2 is P3, 0.2 behind Chris Butt. Dave B Racing lost third to Bray. Dave B Racing lost P5 to Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince from New Zealand is P5 on mediums, 1.2 behind Jason Short. "15 minutes remaining in the session. Dave B Racing is 7th, 0.3 behind Toddy Mustang. Johnny Prince is P5, 0.8 behind Jason Short. Johnny Prince is now 4th. Bray is 2nd, 2.8 behind Chris Butt. Bray was 1.9 faster last lap. The race dictator exiting pits on softs. Johnny Prince is 4th, 0.6 behind Jason Short. Dave B Racing exiting pits on mediums. Dave B Racing is P7. Johnny Prince is fourth, 0.7 behind Jason Short. Johnny Prince was 13.7 faster last lap. That Canadian guy from Canada is 8th. The race dictator is P6 on softs, 1.0 behind Toddy Mustang. Bray on lap 3 is second, 0.7 behind Chris Butt. The race dictator is 6th, 0.6 behind Toddy Mustang. Bray from New Zealand is P2, 0.5 ahead of Jason Short. Jason Short is P3, 0.2 behind Bray. Bray is P2, 0.1 ahead of Jason Short. Bray lost P2 to Jason Short. Jason Short is second. Best lap is a 2:43.484. 13.743 off the fastest lap. Bray on lap 3 is third, 0.4 behind Jason Short. Jason Short is second, 0.2 ahead of Bray. Jason Short passed Chris Butt for P1. Bray is P2 battling Jason Short. Bray passed Jason Short for P1. Bray lost P1 to Jason Short. Chris Butt is P3, 0.3 behind Bray. Chris Butt is now P2. Chris Butt lost P3 to Dave B Racing. Dave B Racing is P3. 10 minutes remaining in the session. Toddy Mustang on lap 4 is 5th, 1.0 behind Bray. Dave B Racing is third, 0.8 behind that Canadian guy. Toddy Mustang is 5th, 0.3 behind Bray. Bray from New Zealand is 5th battling Toddy Mustang. Bray is now 6th. That Canadian guy is second, 0.8 behind the race dictator. Toddy Mustang is P4. Best lap is a 2:29.764. 0.023 off the fastest lap. Bray is 6th. Best lap is a 2:32.846. 3.105 off the fastest lap. Johnny Prince entering the pits is P8. That Canadian guy on lap 4 is 2nd, 0.4 behind the race dictator. Dave B Racing is P3, 0.4 ahead of Toddy Mustang. That Canadian guy is P2, 0.2 behind the race dictator. Dave B Racing is P3, 0.4 behind that Canadian guy. Chris Budd exiting pits on mediums. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand is 4th, 0.1 behind Dave B Racing. Toddy Mustang was 7.9 faster last lap. Toddy Mustang passed Dave B Racing for 3rd. Bray is 4th, 0.6 ahead of Dave B Racing. Bray is now 4th. Toddy Mustang is 3rd, 0.5 behind that Canadian guy. Toddy Mustang lost P3 to Jason Short. That Canadian guy is 2nd, 1.6 behind the race dictator. Bray is 6th. That Canadian guy is 2nd, 1.7 behind the race dictator. Five minutes remaining in the session. Jason Short on lap 5 is 5th, 0.8 behind Toddy Mustang. That Canadian guy is 2nd, 1.0 behind the race dictator. The race dictator was 1.5 faster last lap. Jason Short from New Zealand is 4th. That Canadian guy is 2nd, 0.6 behind the race dictator. Johnny Prince exiting pits on mediums. Toddy Mustang exiting pits on mediums. Chris Budd is P5. That Canadian guy is P2, 1.1 behind the race dictator. Bray exiting pits on mediums. Chris Butt from New Zealand is 5th. Dave B Racing is P3, 0.6 behind that Canadian guy. Dave B Racing passed that Canadian guy for 2nd. Jason Short is 4th, 3.9 behind that Canadian guy. Jason Short passed that Canadian guy for P3. That Canadian guy is P4, 3.4 behind Jason Short. Chris Butt from New Zealand is 6th, 4.9 behind Toddy Mustang. That Canadian guy is P4, 3.1 behind Jason Short. Chris Butt is P6. That Canadian guy is P4 on mediums, 3.8 behind Jason Short. Jason Short is 3rd on mediums, 3.9 ahead of that Canadian guy. That Canadian guy is 4th, 3.6 behind Jason Short. The leader has just finished the race. The race dictator finished 1st. Dave B Racing is P2. Dave B Racing finished P2. That Canadian guy finished 3rd. Jason Short finished P4. Toddy Mustang finished 5th. Johnny Prince finished P8. Chris Butt finished 6th. Broadcast Bot is 9th. The race session is at Swiss. In Calgary, Canada. That Canadian guy from Canada is P5 on mediums. 20 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. That Canadian guy is now 4th. Chris Butt from New Zealand is P3 on mediums. Chris Butt lost P3 to Johnny Prince. That Canadian guy is P2. Johnny Prince from New Zealand is 3rd on mediums. That Canadian guy is P3. Johnny Prince is 2nd. That Canadian guy is 2nd. Johnny Prince is P3. That Canadian guy is P3. The race dictator from New Zealand is P4 on mediums, 0.2 ahead of Dave B Racing. That Canadian guy is P3, 0.6 ahead of the race dictator. That Canadian guy passed Johnny Prince for P2. Johnny Prince is P3, 0.2 behind that Canadian guy. The race dictator is P4, 0.1 behind Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince on lap 2 is 3rd, 0.1 ahead of the race dictator. Johnny Prince lost 3rd to the race dictator. The race dictator is 3rd, 0.2 ahead of Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince is P4, 0.3 behind the race dictator. The race dictator is 3rd, 0.5 ahead of Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince is P3 battling that Canadian guy. That Canadian guy is 4th, 1.3 behind Johnny Prince. That Canadian guy passed Johnny Prince for P3. "15 minutes remaining in the session. Bray from New Zealand is P7 on mediums. Best lap is a 2:55.145. 18.618 off the fastest lap. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand on lap 2 is P5 on mediums, 1.6 behind Dave B Racing. Toddy Mustang is now 4th. That Canadian guy exiting pits on mediums. That Canadian guy is P7. Toddy Mustang is 4th, 1.2 behind Dave B Racing. Chris Butt exiting pits on mediums. The Race Dictator is 2nd. Best lap is a 2:29.269. 0.040 off the fastest lap. Toddy Mustang is P4, 0.4 behind Dave B Racing. Dave B Racing from New Zealand on lap 3 is P4 on mediums battling Toddy Mustang. The Race Dictator from New Zealand is 2nd, 1.4 behind Jason Short. Dave B Racing is P4, 0.9 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang was 2.7 faster last lap. Bray is P6, 3.0 behind Johnny Prince. Bray was 14.1 faster last lap. Bray is now P5. The Race Dictator exiting pits on mediums. Dave B Racing is P3, 1.3 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang was 2.7 faster last lap. That Canadian guy is 7th, 3.0 behind the Race Dictator. The Race Dictator is 6th, 0.9 behind Bray. Bray was 4.6 faster last lap. Jason Short from New Zealand on lap 4 is 2nd on mediums battling Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang was 1.1 faster last lap. Jason Short passed Toddy Mustang for 1st. Jason Short lost first to Toddy Mustang. Dave B Racing is third on mediums, 0.7 behind Toddy Mustang. That Canadian guy is P7, 0.8 behind the Race Dictator. The Race Dictator was 16.5 faster last lap. "10 minutes remaining in the session. Bray is P5. That Canadian guy is 7th, 1.1 ahead of Chris Butt. Toddy Mustang is 2nd, 0.3 behind Jason Short. Johnny Prince from New Zealand is P2, 0.2 behind Jason Short. Bray is 3rd, 0.2 behind Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince is 2nd, 0.3 behind Jason Short. Toddy Mustang is P5, 0.2 behind Chris Butt. Toddy Mustang was 28.2 faster last lap. Johnny Prince is 2nd, 0.4 behind Jason Short. Toddy Mustang is P4, 0.5 ahead of Bray. The Race Dictator on lap 5 is 2nd, 0.2 behind Chris Butt. Jason Short exiting pits on mediums. That Canadian guy on lap 5 is 3rd, 0.7 behind the Race Dictator. Johnny Prince exiting pits on mediums. Bray exiting pits on mediums. Dave B Racing exiting pits on mediums. Toddy Mustang exiting pits on mediums. The Race Dictator is P2. The Race Dictator passed Chris Butt for P1. Chris Butt on lap 5 is 2nd, 0.3 behind the Race Dictator. That Canadian guy is 3rd, 0.2 behind Chris Butt. Chris Butt was 33.9 faster last lap. Dave B Racing is P8. Best lap is a 2:30.777. 2.669 off the fastest lap. That Canadian guy is 3rd, 0.4 behind Chris Butt. Chris Butt is 2nd, 0.1 ahead of that Canadian guy. That Canadian guy is third, 0.2 behind Chris Butt. That Canadian guy is now P2. Bray is P6, 0.7 behind Johnny Prince. Chris Butt is second, 0.1 behind that Canadian guy. That Canadian guy was 1.0 faster last lap. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Bray is P6, 1.0 behind Johnny Prince. Chris Butt is P2 on mediums, 0.6 behind that Canadian guy. Bray is 6th on mediums, 0.9 ahead of Toddy Mustang. Chris Butt is P3, 0.1 behind the race dictator. Jason Short is 4th, 0.3 behind Chris Butt. Jason Short passed Chris Butt for 3rd. Chris Butt is 4th, 0.1 behind Jason Short. Bray is 5th, 0.7 behind Johnny Prince. Toddy Mustang is P6, 0.9 behind Bray. Toddy Mustang is now 5th. Jason Short is 3rd, 1.7 behind the race dictator. Jason Short was 0.8 faster last lap. Bray is 5th on mediums, 0.5 behind Toddy Mustang. Bray was 2.3 faster last lap. Chris Butt on lap 7 is P6, 1.6 behind Bray. Bray is 5th, 0.9 behind Toddy Mustang. Chris Butt is P7, 0.3 behind Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince is 7th battling Chris Butt. Johnny Prince passed Chris Butt for 6th. Chris Butt is 7th, 0.2 behind Johnny Prince. The race dictator on lap 7 is 2nd, 2.3 behind that Canadian guy. Chris Butt is 7th, 0.4 behind Johnny Prince. The race dictator is 2nd, 2.0 behind that Canadian guy. Jason Short is P3. Best lap is a 2:29.181. 1.073 off the fastest lap. The race dictator is 2nd. Best lap is a 2:28.779. 0.671 off the fastest lap. Jason Short is 3rd, 2.7 behind the race dictator. The race dictator from New Zealand is P3, 0.4 behind Jason Short. The race dictator was 0.9 faster last lap. Toddy Mustang is P5, 3.7 behind Bray. Jason Short from New Zealand is P2, 4.0 behind that Canadian guy. Toddy Mustang is 5th on mediums, 3.0 behind Bray. Bray was 5.5 faster last lap. The leader has just finished the race. That Canadian guy finished 1st. Jason Short finished 2nd. The race dictator finished P3. Bray finished 4th. Toddy Mustang finished 5th. Johnny Prince finished P6. Chris Butt is 7th. Chris Butt finished P7.